Hey, 420 MSP. We're charging hard into this segment. We continue to do so. Colin, thank you for the compliment of my green shirt during rehearsal. I appreciate that. It's not the kind of green you think, okay? It actually, my son went to Cal Poly in Central California in aerospace. But hey, we're talking 420 MSP. What's the default color palette in our industry? So
That's right.
So we're back with Vigilx. Did I get that right? You say your company name better than me.
Vigilx. Yes, Vigilx.
Okay. And last time we did a Hello World, and thank you. I mean, good for me, good for you, and we find ourselves at the RSPA Cannabis Community meetings once a month. But outside of that, you have a partner program, and what's interesting to me about that, and I don't know if I had this talk with you, but in my travels in the CannaTech vertical, very few ISVs and others are embracing a channel partner program. They're all focused on going direct, and I try to have a talk with them about the community I came up through with SMB Nation, and now they're
Right.
MSPs. And so, Colin, some of these people, they don't even know what an MSP is. You do. And you speak towards that. I'm over on your partner page, your partnership page. So let's start with the VAR. How can I be a VAR partner with you?
Well, that's really super simple. You just need to talk to me, or Trevor on my team, right? We have what we have, Harry, is we have partnership guidelines, right? I mean, we have a path that the partner needs to be in, but we don't really have a formalized, you know, set of rules and regs. It's just, but in terms of what we follow, we very rarely run into channel conflict. We have about 150 VAR partners for
Okay.
Vigilx. And so, we've thought through, well, should we incorporate a sort of, religious use of deal registration as part of our partner program? And we haven't yet, because quite frankly, that comes up so infrequently that we can handle those sort of on the fly. But we are very open with our partners that if you're pursuing Five Guys or if you're pursuing Marriott hotels and you want to let us know so that we let everybody else know if it happens to come up again with other partners that we're talking to, then great. We will take that, and that'll be yours. That'll be your set aside until it isn't, right?
Until it's not.
Until it's not. And so we're one of our core values is respect, and respecting that channel relationship, respecting that deal pipeline that they have is maybe the biggest part of that in terms of what we do. So, it's not like we have it super formalized, but it's definitely a part of what we do, and it's definitely a part of our conversation with our partners.
Well, I like that actually because, I grew the SMB Nation community. My personality is somewhat informal. It drives formal people crazy. But that, you gotta be who you are. And we have had, just this cool, groovy, loose community, right? We don't have all these forms you have to fill out. And what I see with some channel partner programs when I put my analyst hat on, where'd that go? I'll have to go find it. But the complexity, I mean, Colin, I mean, you get up into some of the Fortune ones and names we both know, and the complexity and the forms and the portals and and it's just like just take me out back. That's not what I signed up for as a geek.
Right. Right.
So I would encourage you to keep it simple. I'm not even hearing the Olympic medals. I'm not hearing bronze, silver, gold in your program. So
No.
that's fine. That's fine. Let's talk ISV. So what's your ISV partner program?
It's basically the same, right? I mean, it's basically the same. We treat our ISV relationships with the same amount of respect. So, and I'll call a couple of them out, right? I mean, we're super close with Toshiba, the old IBM POS, right? And We've worked with them for a number of years. There's a lot of loyalty, a lot of back and forth between our businesses. And if I know that Toshiba is pursuing X chain of grocery stores or restaurants or whatever, and HP reaches out to me for the same deal, I'm like, not interested, not even going to touch it. Because we do track that. I mean, I guess we do track it informally, right? I mean, if I'm just not going to allow for that kind of conflict. So it's the same thing, and the other side of that too is I don't demand exclusivity with my partners. I'm
Okay.
not afraid of competition, right? I don't go, well, if you're going to use Vigilx and you're going to sell Vigilx and incorporate Vigilx within your platform, then you can't do SolarWinds too. Come on, man. If I'm either I'm good enough to compete in the marketplace or I'm not, right?
Yeah.
So we don't put stringent requirements on our partners, but we do respect when they bring a deal to our door.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, distributors. How do you interact? Are these distributors I know in my SMB MSP
Do we
space?
really have to talk about the disties, Harry?
No.
I'm kidding. If there's any disties listening, I'm kidding. Of course. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, it's the same thing. In the POS space, whether we're dealing with, we do have relationships on different levels with Synex and Ingram Micro and ScanSource and Blue Star. And
Oh yeah, Blue Star, my good friends over there, Dwayne Roebuck. Yep.
well, we love all of them and hate all of them equally. I mean, it's just I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Um, but
Well, it's a marriage. Hey, it's a marriage, and
it
marriages
is.
take work, man. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
It does. It does. And knock on wood, we've not crossed, we've been careful enough not to cross lines with any of them. And I think as long as we endeavor to respect it comes down to the deal. It's not whether it's an ISV or a disti or a VAR. It comes down to the deal. You respect the deal and you respect the partners within the confines of the deal. And that's where it begins and ends for us.
Yeah. No, I like it, and it's a welcome attitude in a young technology space, and the reason I say that is, I'm kind of like an old man that tells stories of my childhood, drives my two boys nuts. That's what old dudes do. But back in the day, early small business server and all that, we all helped each other, and then the space infrastructure got very mature. And then the profitability, well, the margins, it just got mature. It got tight and it got mature, and we're not as helpful. And so you're a breath of fresh air in a young segment where we still help each other. So continued success.
Yeah, right on. Thank you,
don't
man.
ever change, man.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I have a very egalitarian perspective of all that. And I'll tell you one thing we do a lot. We did it last week. We've got a partner on the West Coast that somehow or other we found out it was something unrelated. They were searching for a new accounting system. They were having trouble syncing their accounting system to their PSA and dealing with all the APIs. They wanted Vigilx to be in the middle of that in some way. And they were like, we don't know what to do. We've only got this budget and it's just not fitting anything that we find. And we just said, whoa, okay, I tell you what, we happen to have one of our partners in Atlanta that has figured this out, that we're pretty close to. You want to talk to them?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, you want to would you do that? I'm like, yeah, of course I do that. So that's a real joy for us to be a good connector,
Yeah.
and to help our community out in that way, because they isolate themselves sometimes, and they don't know that a completely non-competitive VAR or partner on the other side of the country has been through exactly what they've been through, and they could learn from each other. And that's part of the joy of, like the cannabis community and committee within the RSPA. I mean, I feel like that's starting to That's starting to gel too, and
It
starting to
is.
happen.
Yeah, it is. And you hit on sort of the topic of the day. I'm on a small committee, a trade group called the IAMCP, so International Association of
I'm very
Microsoft
familiar
Partners.
with it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on this little committee, partner to partner committee, and we're trying to drive more engagement, partner to partner. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the dynamic CRM person works with the Teams person, for
Yeah,
example.
totally.
And
Right.
so that's kind of the megatrend right now in these ecosystems, to try and get us
Yeah.
all working together. And well, I'll tell you what, my friend, next month, I want to do a double click down into your actual product, because our community comes from the geek side, the nerd side first, and they are kicking and screaming into this
My favorite
reseller
people.
side. Yeah. So we got to throw them a bone. Okay, Colin, we got to throw them a
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah, right on. Right on.
All right. Take
Okay,
care. We'll
thank you,
talk to you
Harry.
next
It's
time.
good to talk
All
to you.
righty.
All right, bye.
Bye.